How you been, Marty?
Always good. It's an easy thing to be good when you coach basketball.
Have any of the guys told you about playing in Whyalla before?
Not specifically. We obviously knew coming into it that we'd been up. The club had been up twice before, and they put on a good show, and there'll be some promotions and a few other things, but not so much about Whyalla itself.
Can you tell us a bit more about your playing career?
Playing career, started in Tasmania, played through state juniors at national championship level. Was fortunate enough to be at the right age to play national under 20 team at a world championship level. So played 87 world championships in Italy in a team that included Brad Key Longley, Blahoff, Heel, so it was a pretty good group. Played against some great players that had the former Yugoslavia, had Divac and Kukoc and Raja and George Vick, USA. Had Gary Payton and Larry Johnson, Stacey Orgman, and so really was the start of my real interest in international basketball. And obviously went on and played with North Melbourne Giants and finished up there and went back to Tassie to play Seabold.
What was it that inspired you to pursue a coaching career?
I don't know if there was inspiration for coaching. It was more the intrigue of how much basketball had to offer in strategy and tactics. It was certainly the desire to help other young guys have the experiences I had. Was fortunate enough to have as a junior, get to travel internationally and do lots of good things, and I more or less fell into it. But I think it was something I was always going to do without really knowing it.
I know you spent a number of years at the IAS. Can you tell us about your path to getting there?
Yeah, I went back to Tassie after I finished playing in Melbourne and got a development role, coaching development officer, and worked with the ITC program. Coached junior state teams. Going back to a small country area is you get lots of opportunities really quickly because there's not lots of other people. A bit different than say going to Melbourne or Sydney or Adelaide where there's lots of other good coaches. So I was fortunate enough to coach lots of teams in a short period of time and get lots of experience. And yeah, basically went from there to the institute.
What is a typical day like as the head coach at the IAS?
At the AIS, well, because we're dealing with school age athletes, we have to practice before school, so it starts pretty early, and then we do either an individual or strength and conditioning during the day and then team practice at night, but most of it's about the mentoring, the fathering, the parenting role as much as the coaching, making sure the guys are doing well at school, making sure they're dealing with being away from home, making sure they're looking after their bodies and looking at physio and massage. You have a big support staff, so you have to do people management skills. People and time management is a big keys there. Basketball is probably a quarter to a third of the workload. The rest of it's making sure you're managing the program.
Do you feel some of the athletes struggle to balance school and sports life?
No, we do. Look, athletes struggle to balance everything, yes. But what we do, or what the Institute do a really good job of, is making sure that school basketball balance is good. We have tutors for them. They do 4 2-hour sessions a week at study hall, so 8 hours of supervised study is more than any kid will get anywhere unless they get set down an academic path. We find the guys that come in actually do better at the Institute than they do at home because of that structured environment.
What kind of things do you expect from the 36ers this year?
We're back in a real, the phase is working from bottom up, and what I expect is we play hard. I expect that we'll play together. We'll play smart as people start to understand what I'm expecting. Wins, losses, well, you always want to win. If you expect to win, you probably focus more on that than the actual process. And our process is about building a club that's going to be sustainable more than just 1 year. So at the end of this year, we'd expect to be able to move forwards rather than have to repeat what we did this year.
How would you describe your coaching style?
Coaching style is I think I'm demanding about the things I value. I certainly value team and being good teammates. I value being good people, and as on the basketball side of things, it's team defence that allows teams to run. So you see us up the floor and you see us pressing, trapping, and doing some things that way, trying to create easy baskets.
If you were to coach my under-16s basketball team for 3 to 4 weeks, what would be the main things you look for?
Main things I look for are people that are curious, people that want to learn, have an innate sense of wanting to solve problems for themselves and work out solutions. Because that's what basketball is. The opposition team put a problem in front of you and you have to work out the best solution to how to combat it. Looking for players who can coach themselves and really on a skill point of view, players can pass. If you can't pass, you better be a really good scorer, and there's just not many of them around.
You come across as a fairly intense and serious guy. Do you have a favourite joke?
No, I'm not an entertainer at all. I'm not. Yeah, well, I know what I am, and that's probably exactly what you said. But what I also am is someone that can not allow things to stress. I think it's okay to be intense, but that intensity leads to pressure on yourself. I don't have that at all. So no, I couldn't remember a joke. I can remember any player. I can remember people's names. I can remember scores and stats. But remembering jokes, just not in my makeup.
What must a person like me do to make it into this team?
Into this team? Well, first thing's hard work. If you don't like to work hard, you wouldn't survive with me. And as I said, be a person that other people want to be around. And that's often difficult in a professional environment where you're talking about guys' careers and livelihoods. They often think about themselves. Work hard, get your rewards later, and your rewards come if you can help the team get better.
You must have seen the 36ers play last season. What difference do you think I will notice in the team this year?
I think there'll be probably a more specific defensive game plan than maybe what they had last year. I'm not really in a great position to comment. I mean, I only watch games on tape and know what's going on inside, and each coach coaches differently, and they'll coach to what they value. And obviously, the group last year had a coach that valued certain things. Clearly, I'm going to be different than that. I mean, no two coaches are the same. I mean, but we'll definitely put a pride and a commitment to team defence. We'll definitely put a pride in work ethic.
Who do you look up to as a basketball or other sports coach?
Yeah, never was one for having idols. Tried to make myself have one, but really didn't do it passionately. I guess as someone you look up to, I look at guys like Larry Bird as a basketballer, not so much Larry Bird as a coach. I think, well, why do? Because I used to hate him, and then suddenly started to respect the fact that he just outworked me, played smarter, and ultimately was a real team. I guess the things you value you get drawn to, even though I was a Lakers supporter and he was a Boston guy through that time, I just found myself continually being drawn to the fact that he's good at what he does. As a coach, obviously people that coach you have big influence on you. Bruce Palmer was a coach that I had through the National League days, so he had a huge influence on me in his ability to get the best out of his team and be really well prepared, and his strategies and tactics. Phil Smythe was a coach when I was at the Institute, and again his individual work rate, his ability to communicate with his players and make people feel good about themselves. Things I really liked about him. And I think Patrick Hunt, who was the ITC head coach and also an institute coach when I was around, was a guy that talked a lot about coaching and life.
Is the loss of Nathan Herbert significant? Many believe he was in for a breakout season.
Yeah, really significant. He was pegged as our starting three, with the ability to go to a and at times won. He's our best defender on wings. He'd done a power of work over the off-season and really improved the skills he already had, but just got the confidence to put those skills into play. Yeah, it's unfortunate we've lost him, but it means other guys get more of an opportunity. I think Brad Hill will be the guy that will be given the opportunities that probably Herbie would have done. And I really think Reece Carter will fill a lot of those intangible things that Herbie brought to the team.
Who do you think will win the NBL title this year?
Well, I think Adelaide will.
Yeah, she can.
I guess you interview every coach in the pre-season that they didn't say the same thing, then they probably shouldn't get their jobs. But having said that, I think it's an even competition. I think Perth, New Zealand, and probably Gold Coast are the most talented, and probably athletic. Melbourne have a point of difference in size. But it is an even competition. Last year showed that the Sixers went far off the mark and they finished bottom. It's going to be one of those things that when things roll well for you, you get momentum, then the ability to keep that momentum going with the team that comes out on top.
Thanks very much, Marty Clarke.
Okay, no problem.